Lighting is arguably the most important thing when it comes to videography and photography, because without good lighting, your image doesn't look good. No matter how much AI you put onto the image, it still won't look good. Now here in my studio, I have a big light setup. I primarily use Aputure and Amaran lights. So I have the LS300X as my main light here with the lantern dome, and that's kind of tilting down towards me here. I have the F21C above me, which is sort of a fabric light, and that kind of gives me a top-down light if I'm going to shoot product shots for B-roll, or if I just want to like show something as I'm talking to you guys right here. And then on the side here, we're seeing a little bit of a spill of that red coming into play. That is the P60C. That is a color RGB panel, and I can change the colors how I want to do that. And of course, behind me, I have this lit up shelving unit, which changes colors as you've seen on various different videos. And then I also use the 60X as a hair light from time to time. However, if I'm out and about and I'm going out to shoot on location, I don't want to take all of this stuff away from my studio because it took a lot of time to set it up correctly. That's where a company like Zhiyun has come into play with these two lights. This is the Molus X100 from Zhiyun, a 100-watt light. That's the size of the light right there. It's thin, it's compact, you turn it around, got a nice little retro vibe to it, and you want to know how small it is? It fits in my back pocket. That's how small it is. We also have the G60, a 60-watt light that's this size, basically the size of a Rubik's Cube. Now to give you a size comparison, you saw the Amaran 60X, which is a small light right here. This is relatively small for being a 60-watt light, very compact, very light. These are these two lights together. That's what we're looking at. 60 watt, 60 watt. This is not to say that the Amaran is bad and the Zhiyun is good, and the Zhiyun is bad and the Amaran is good. It's not to say that at all. I'm just giving you a size comparison difference. Now with the Amaran, you can power it with either DC in or with put a V-mount to the next to it and then plug it in that way. And with this, the G60, you can go USB-C or DC in. So you can do either or, and that gives you a nice compact setup on this. But let's first talk about the X100, because I think this is gonna be a light that gets most people excited on because of the size and how much is inside of this thing. First and foremost, the design of it is really cool. As I mentioned, retro design to it. You have two knobs on the side, that's it. You can push down on these for various different controls, but that's pretty much all you have. CCT and dimming. Now this is a bicolor light from 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin. That's the same on both of these lights, by the way. Okay, now it's pretty color accurate according to Zhiyun's website, but based on my other lights that I have in my studio, when I set it correctly, they all match beautifully. Now also with this, you have the option to go live mode, so you can actually control it through the app, the ZY Vega app that you can download via Apple App Store or Google Play. And you can set up the lights, you can turn them on, you can sync them together if you want. You can color match the light through the camera on your smartphone. So let's say I'm gonna measure this light's, Kelvin temperature, and I wanna make sure that this light over here matches. I can do that and it works out great. Also, you have this option for music, which is interesting because it kind of senses sound and it flashes the light based on it. It's kind of a gimmick, and we've seen this out on other lights out there before. I don't know why someone would use it, but it's there because I guess Zhiyun likes music and they want to have fun and they say, yeah, we'll put it inside there. But how does this light power up? DC in, of course, as most lights do. Then you can do it by USB-C, but you have to have a certain wattage and it will only go up to, I believe, 30 watts of power when you go via USB-C. Or you can do what is the most popular way, and it comes with the light, by the way, is this battery pack, which also acts as a grip. There you have it. And you can charge this up if you want. There's a charging port there via USB-C. You can keep this charged up and it has a lot of juice inside of it. And it's very easy to hold, as you can see right here. Very easy to hold on the hand. Looks great. That's how you can power up this bad boy. And by the way, this will max it out at 100 watts using this as well. And it lasts for a pretty long time, depending on how much power you use. Now, a case in point, in my studio here, I think I'm about like 12 or 15% max on this LS300X. With this one, I'm thereabouts almost the same, because again, you're not gonna max out at 100 watts. I'll show you what it looks like in just a bit, comparing this 300 watt light versus this 100 watt light, just to kind of give you an idea of how it performs. Again, I don't have the same modifiers, but you'll get the idea. But this is something very cool. Now, in terms of the attachments, most of these lights are interchangeable, either the G60 here or the X100 in terms of modifiers. Case in point, you have this little dish you can click on here. Very easy to turn and lock, and then you have this little dish with a reflector inside of it. Can give you more of an old school spotlight vibe to it. Then if you want a lantern look, we have that as well. We have this little rubber lantern for more of a diffused look, and I'll kind of give you an idea how that looks. Already bright, I'm at 9%, so let me dial this down to about 1% so you can just show you for the video. Give you a nice diffused look on that. This modifier as well, this little mini dome, which is great for video. I've done this for a couple of my videos when I'm out and about. Nice diffused light, and of course you can put a honeycomb on it, which comes with that as well. You also could put a Bowens mount adapter to this on both of these lights, by the way. Now that's the only difference in terms of modifiers, is that the Bowens mount A will fit the G60 and the Bowens mount B will fit the X100. Okay, so there's a difference in terms of the mounting onto this portion of the light, but in terms of modifiers, any Bowens mount modifier will work. I'm actually using an Aputure one, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a bit using this. And to take this off, very simple, switch off, and there you go. Very, very easy to use. So that's essentially what you can do with these lights. There's also other accessories as well. You've got mounting holes at the bottom of this, so you can actually mount it to any light stand that you want or tripod. Also, there's a bracket that you can connect at the bottom of this. That's kind of an extension bracket, so you can, let's say, mount 2 or 3 of these lights if you want to do that. And you can do it horizontally or vertically, or you can set up however you want to do that to be more creative with your lighting. But that's essentially it. That's what these lights are about. And just to kind of give you a case in point look at what this looks like here, there we have it. How cool is that? Now, one of the most important things about this light is this. That's right. I'm tapping on the front of the light and it's not going to break. It's almost indestructible, according to Zhiyun. They say almost. Now, if it's really hot and then you bang it with something, then of course that heat, things will get a little bit more sensitive with heat, then it could crack. But otherwise, there is no light cover that comes with this light in the case that it comes with from Zhiyun. You know, normally you'll see these kind of plastic covers that you get on lights. Not with this. There is nothing on it whatsoever. They're that confident that this light will not break. By the way, I'm not paid or sponsored for this video in case you're wondering. They passed me these lights to test. I thought they were really cool, and I think the size, the weight, and the power that comes out of these things were worth talking about. So that is why I'm doing this video for you guys today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick test to show you the difference in terms of lighting with this LS300X. Now this is using a lantern dome, so it's going to be a little bit different, more diffused. Then I've got this Lightbox 4545 from Aputure right here, which I'm going to mount the X100 on, and I'm going to show you how these lights compare in terms of performance. So let's get down to it. All set up, ready to go. I'm going to be using the apps on my iPhone here to control this. So this is the LS300X. You've been seeing it the entire video. Now I'm going to shut off this light here. Okay. Now I just have this top-down light coming from me from the F21C, as I mentioned before. Now I'm going to go over to the ZY Vega app. This is the ZY Vega app here. This is at 6.5%. So I'm going to set it at about 4.2. And I will set this to keep it about the same color tone as around 4,800 to 5,100 Kelvin, thereabouts. So this is very similar to what I had over there with the Aputure light. And I think we're right there on the money. How about that? Not bad at all. So now that you've seen this test here, let's talk a little bit about the cons. Are there some cons? Of course, there's cons on every product out there, but they're not deal breakers. These are just small things. Case in point, there's no lock switch on either of these lights in terms of the dial. So once you set it, if you knock it, you have to reset it again. That's one thing. It'd be nice to have RGB options on these lights. To be honest with you, for the size and the weight, you would think these would be a great accent light to have. You want to put a little bit of color, a little bit of blue, purple, orange, whatever have you. These lights would be fantastic for that. Unfortunately, they're just bicolor lights and they're not a RGB setup, and that would be nice to have in the future. So maybe Zhiyun will make that, who knows. Now, in terms of the G60 here with the X100, you actually have a battery grip which powers up the light. You don't have that with this. So you basically have to use a portable charger or a USB-C, adapter, or you have to use the DC, which does give it a little bit more heft and a little bit more, makes it a little bit more cumbersome to carry around versus having what the X100 has with that battery grip, which makes it very versatile. So it'd be nice if Zhiyun came out with something that you could actually plug into this and on the side right here, because you have a USB-C port, and you could just plug something right there and you would just have a little bit more of the width, but you would have battery power that would last. Now, if you can probably buy something third party out there, who knows, but it'd be nice if they made it, because they make a lot of great stuff for these lights already. That would be a very cool option. In terms of the build quality, these both feel really, really good, but the X100 will feel a little bit more premium than the G60, and rightfully so. I mean, this is a less expensive product and it's only 60 watts and it's plastic in nature, and it's got these fans right here, which are great. So it's not going to overheat or cause any issues. The same with the X100. So there's no issues with that in terms of the build quality, but having a white light probably will show dirt over time. Now it's cool and it does stand out, and it does definitely give Zhiyun sort of a a look very comparable to their gimbals out there, white, black with a little bit of orange to it, or red, depending on what design they're going with. But I think an all black version would even be more stealth, and I probably would like that maybe a bit more just in terms of durability, because white does get dirty over time, as I mentioned. Outside of that though, I like these lights, man. I really do. I have to say, for the price point, they're really good. The color accuracy is decent. I can definitely shoot a video like this, use this light with a modifier, any modifier for that matter. I could use the lantern if I wanted to. I didn't want to do it for this video because it's a lot of work to change out, but to give you an idea of how this is all set up. But yeah, man, Zhiyun's done a great job with this. And I would definitely say, if you're looking for some small portable lights to help with your content creation, or even photography for that matter, and you're not into strobes, these may be some good options for you. So with that, guys, those are my thoughts on the Zhiyun Molus X100 and the G60. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. More content coming your way. Thanks again for all the support. Take care, stay safe, and I'll chat to you soon.